Welcome, fellow Reds. This is the morning after the 0-0 result against Crystal Palace. I decided to make this video this morning, kind of like fitting actually. For those who are just kind of like seeing this, I'm right behind me over here is the beautiful Table Mountain. I'm South African, and this is kind of like where this love story of Liverpool began many years ago. I think I was like 8 or 9 years old, and I remember just watching John Barnes cut through teams, and I was absolutely mesmerized. And bear with me for another minute or so. There is a whole point to all of the story, and that point is that when I became a Liverpool fan, we were really at the pomp, at the height of our powers. We were dominating everything, and so where I was kind of like growing up, you had two teams basically in where I was growing up, in Cape Town, South Africa. Is you had Manchester United and you had Liverpool. And for me, the absolute love story sort of like began there. My dad didn't last very long. As we all know, since the 90s, it was an absolute disaster. We haven't won anything. We hadn't won a Premier League, and it was only a few years ago that we actually won our very first Premier League. So, what is the point to this whole little side story here is to say that I'm used to it. I'm used to Liverpool, not basically living up to the expectations. But then again, there wasn't any expectations as I got older, and I saw the success that Manchester United had. Amongst all my friends growing up here, it was hard. It was terrible. Getting mocked mercilessly by your friends because you support Liverpool. But that was just it. You love this club. I love this club. And ever since I was a little boy, and I've gone through much more harder times than what the season is before. And so all I can really kind of like offer as I sit here today is just know that as a Liverpool supporter, this is part and parcel of it. It's the highs, it's the very highs, and of course the very lows. So I just wanted to kind of like get that quickly off the preface here. Let's talk about last night's game. It's going to be easy for me to just jump on and go on a rant, and that's why I didn't want to do it last night, because last night I think frustration doesn't actually even begin to describe where I'm at the moment. I've gone through what they say, there's these 7 stages of mourning and grieving, and I'm at that stage now where I've accepted that the season is over. I've accepted it a long time ago, don't get me wrong, but I've come to the acceptance that this specific team for this year has not been up to scratch, has not been up to standard. They've been wholly disappointing, each and every one, in every department. I couldn't single out to you a single player. I am gonna get to that. I couldn't single out, I can single out a few, but not every single one of them. But none of them actually really showed me anything last night that there was going to be a response. I don't normally talk about Champions League stuff on here because that's a whole different thing, and maybe that's something I can get onto. I really just wanted to focus on the Premier League. But you would have thought that after that humiliation, capitulation actually of midweek at Anfield against Real Madrid, I would have hoped that these players would have come out and showed their boss, to show Jurgen Klopp that that they want to be a part of this team. that they want to be a part of this new this evolution or this next step, this next phase. Because let's face it, that team, that 2018, 2019, 20 team, that's done. It's over. It was a nice run, you know. We had a. I think last season when we went in for all four competitions, I think that would have probably been the perfect send-off for this team. That was probably the ultimate height or the apex of what this specific team could achieve. And far be it from me to go into any kind of like finger name or blaming or anything like that to the owners or anything like that. That comes later. Okay, we're gonna talk about that later. But this is the season that's happening now, and you know, yes, we didn't get any signings apart from Tony Gakpo, and I said it in my previous video, in another earlier video, that if you are only going to sign Cody Gakpo as an absolute flippant awful transfer window. I like Cody Gakpo, but again, he should not have been the only player. But then again, I started to think to myself, like, you know, if you brought in a new player, maybe it'll just, like, they would have probably infected this new guy as well. So, you know, maybe it's a good thing that we start over next season, and we have to start on a fresh page. Like I said to myself, we had like 18 games left. I think that's my feeling now as well. I am counting down the games to the end of the season. It feels bad, man. It really feels bad. You know, and look at the end of the day, it is football. And you know, when I came back to Cape Town a week ago. And you know, that's the one thing you can kind of like see is you know, a bit of perspective in life. You know, that you know that there are things that you know, there are people who are maybe in worse situations, and you know what, if you have the privilege of you know, to support a football team and to watch them every week kind of thing, that's not everybody's case. So you know, that's also a little bit why I decided to make this video the next day and outside here. But anyway, I'm going off on some ramblings. Let's start with the game from yesterday. And from the offset, you know when we're playing that white kit, that white kit, it just sums up for me with that crazy pattern, like, you know, like I can't really distinguish anything, and that's how it is. I couldn't really distinguish any player that stood out for me, except for a few. And one player in particular who I want to just quickly chat about is Naby Keita. I love Naby. I always have. You know, when we signed him, I was so excited to see him, to see that what there's a good player in there. There really is. Really there was. But when he came on when he played the first half, he looked completely off the pace. And he's had a couple of starts now for Klopp, and it's clear he needs to be moved on. With all the injuries, I really feel bad for the guy, but you know, with all the injuries and everything, he needs to go. It's time for the end of the season. Sorry, let's just wait. At the end of the season, I think part of that clear out that needs to happen is him. He needs to go. He was completely. He lacked any kind of ideas. He lost the ball several times in really key positions. And you know what? If Crystal Palace was in any kind of, also had any confidence or could finish, I think Liverpool would have got out of here with 0-0. You know, an egg. So as I watched him, literally just, you know, I don't know what, just kind of like walking around in the midfield, really completely not reading the game, not understanding. I know what he was trying to do. He really wanted to move a little further up the field, and maybe that's where Naby is better, you know. Naby is not the kind of player like Thiago Alcantara who can play along the defense and play the ball out from defense. And don't get me started on that fucking defense as well. But Naby just couldn't connect the forwards and the back line, and he hasn't been able to this season. So for me, I think one of the first people that needs to get out, please get rid. Naby Keita, get rid. Thank you, but it just hasn't worked out. And like I said, I like the guy. I really liked him as a player, but I think it's time for him to go. The other criminal, last night was Trent Alexander-Arnold. I don't know what Klopp's gonna do with this guy. Like I ask myself these questions, and I'm one of those people who were really one of his staunchest defenders. Ironic, he can't fucking defend to save his life. For a Premier League, Champions League winning professional footballer, I, it's worrying. I'm really worried about this kid. I was surprised Klopp kept him on for as long as he did, because he and Naby Keita for me were one of those players that really needed to fuck off at halftime. Really, because the thing is, like, they were just a liability. It was like, when you're driving through traffic and you see the guy bobbing and weaving through the traffic without indicating, and you're going, oh my god, something's going to happen. That's exactly how I saw Trent Alexander's performance last night. It was an accident waiting to happen. So I think there were a couple of instances where he just completely switched off, like he's just running around. And I have to ask myself, in terms of percentages, the kind of value that it brought. One of the best parts about Trent was always his attacking prowess. It was always that he gave us that something extra, that kind of, he was disruptive. That whole right back being a creative player was exciting. It was new. It was disruptive. But I think now it no longer is, because the thing is, like, the teams are no longer feeling threatened by him. They see him as an opportunity, no longer a threat, and that was the only thing really that kept the Wolves at bay. It's like when it's like when I can't even get to my words here. But I think for me, Trent Alexander is one of those players, or at least not Trent Alexander. I think that right back position is going to be a mess. That's where we're going to have to invest a lot in. We're going to have to invest in our midfield options. Fabinho, that's another brother that's just like lost it. Though he wasn't bad last night. And he did kind of like bring a little bit of security, but you know what? Where do you kind of like go from here? So on top of that, you can see Andy. Andy Robertson is still Andy Robertson. He's still gonna bomb forward, but fair play to James Milner. He came in and really helped protect and fill those gaps. But that's where we are, people. 37-year-old James Milner coming on and really bringing solidity to that team. It's absolutely disappointing, man. It really is. I honestly, honest to God, don't know. So it's a cornucopia and a calamitous fucking season. A cornucopia of calamity. Let me put it that way. A cornucopia of calamity is what I witnessed yesterday. We were lucky to get a 0-0. I mean, look, Crystal Palace away. It's always a little bit of a bogey team for Liverpool. I'm not gonna lie about it. But you know what? This Crystal Palace team is also shot for confidence. So that would have been 3 points up for grabs. We're trying to get into that Champions League positions. Every single time I think, you know what, we can still make Champions League. I don't think so. And we don't deserve it. We absolutely don't deserve anything this season. Where are we going to end up? I don't care actually anymore. I really don't care. I really think that the season for me is more about trying to look for little bits of improvements and you know. But yeah, overall, it's another shitty performance from Liverpool, and in a pretty shitty and average season. Yeah. Anyways, I hope you're all doing well over here. I'm gonna enjoy the last week of my time here in South Africa. I hope you're all doing well. Up next is God, what is it? United next? Fuck. Oh Jesus. Yeah, it's not looking good. Not looking good. God, I don't even want to think about it. But anyway, that being said, though, I'm gonna try and get another United for that game next week. I am gonna see if I can get another United supporter, or at least a United supporter, and get their perspective on how their season have gone. I'm sure it's gonna be fucking painful, as it always is, dealing with these United scum. Nah, sorry, I shouldn't say. He's my friend or anything like that. But yeah, we'll probably have a preview. We'll try to do make something interesting out of it. But at the end of the day, yeah, this is a absolute shit show. So again, thanks for watching. If you watched this far, I appreciate it. If you like, you can hit the like on this video. It's well gonna help me with the algorithm. I'm on a mission to get to 100 subs. I hope before the end of the season. But yeah, this journey continues. The struggle continues in this 2023-2024 season. Have a wonderful day, y'all. Take care. Up the Reds, and I'll see you at the next game. Bye.